Well, hello, welcome back, my bottle language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the bottle language guy, and we are back on episode 73 of the Jesus Enrique Rosas Show. We are live through YouTube, X, and Rumble, and also you will have this show available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. So no way that you can miss my show in any way, shape, or form, and every single one of these topics, I will release them afterwards as a standalone video, so you can watch the videos that you want. You want to rewatch them, you want to share them with your family and friends. You will help me a lot, including, of course, liking and subscribing to my channel, which is the best way to support my channel, and also subscribing to my free 100 bottle language tips, subscribing to my email list. You download my 100 free bottle language tips, and you will be subscribed to my email list and receive my awesome emails using the link in the description of this video or the bio of any of the platforms you're watching this from. So we're ready to begin. Let's highlight the heart and soul of this show is a live chat. There's no way I can do this without you. That is a given. Your comments is what makes this show so awesome in all the way. This is that simple. Jesus Nation, yeah, hermano, we are ready to begin. Almost ready to begin. Let me make sure that my X Pro dashboard is on. Again, I've been making tests to make sure that I can keep up with the news in the United States because, well, politics have been just wild. I'm trying to, do my some kind of magic, a sorcery to keep on top of everything. That's why today's show is a bit later than usual. It shouldn't be, but as soon as I get up to speed, it should be at the right time, at the usual time, which is 12 p.m. EST, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Let me see. Make sure that everything is white people ready. Yeah, white people are going to be talking about white people today. Let's review a few of the topics that we will be highlighting. Perhaps the most important is USAID, that is being deconstructed or destroyed or dismantled, and this is just the tip of the iceberg of the spending. That will be today's main topic. We will also talk about all those businesses that somehow don't have workers anymore. But why? Well, it seems that ICE has to do something to do with it. We're about to check out what does ICE have to do with it. DOGE as well has a lot to do with the USAID scandal. We could say the scandal, and well, that this brilliant guys, some brilliant. Where are them? I had a right them. This little boys. Some of them have been doxxed. They are everywhere. But we're gonna be talking about why they are safe and what is the work that they are doing. Scott Jennings had some great takes about how tariffs work. We're gonna be talking about the tariffs as well. How those the trade war, which is not a war really, is we're going to be explaining a bit about how this works. And well, I couldn't help but I need to mention the Grammys. It's something that I'm going to give you my impressions, passing reference to this, and if we have time, yeah, we'll be doing an analysis on Adam Schiff. I don't know if this would be better for tomorrow, but again, a lot of ground to cover. A lot of ground to cover in today's show. Let's start. Where's my who is as usual my trusty clock is here to make sure that every topic is tight. And well, we start with some, general news and some memes, and sometimes the news become memes themselves. We have researchers call for obesity to be renamed to avoid shaming people. And well, my first reaction was, well, I want to contribute to this. I want to call them, just say that obese people, gravitationally handicapped individuals. Maybe that it's a bit convoluted, but that way, people will feel better. Now, you cannot call them fat. You cannot call them obese. So let's call them gravitationally handicapped people, in the sense that, well, they are the gravitational pull, even if negligible at a cosmic scale, it's still there. So we know that the bigger an object is it is going to be, has this gravitational pull. It's going to be a stronger gravitational pull. And the other side of the spectrum, we have this. David Hogg was named the leader. I don't know what is the name of this. The leader of the Democratic National Committee, and well, yeah, he absolutely looks like he needs a couple of vitamin B shots. And cod liver oil. You remember cod liver oil? That's still a thing. I think that you just give gummy bears to children nowadays with omega and rich oil and that stuff. But no, we had to drink that, that spoonful of pure, unfiltered, like right out of the fish, cod liver oil. That's why. That is Generation X. That's why we became so resilient. But this, man, have you tried lifting? Have you tried lifting? Again, yeah, that I don't body shame women. I have never body shamed women. But man, for me, are always fair game. So, man, what is this? What is that? It's man, you have to. I don't know. You have a bit, maybe 2 bowls of rice a day, maybe lift a bit, and that would be much better for you. And of course, when we call about the left, it's not only that they are weak physically, but intellectually as well, because we have this guy, Brian Tyler Cohen. Trump just launched a trade war against Canada over fentanyl. The U.S. seized, wait for it, 43 pounds at the U.S.-Canada border last year. 43 pounds. And he says that on Blue Sky, which is the gay version of X. And so he says it's like some kind of a witty remark, right? Just so you understand that maybe you have seen those pictures and how much heroin and cocaine you need to overdose, and you see like a tiny flask with a bit of cocaine, but you see the flask with fentanyl and you barely can see any powder in there. And it's seems that you can overdose with 2 milligrams of fentanyl. So if you do the math, and I did the math, okay, well, in fact, I asked ChatGPT for the math, but that doesn't matter. I did the math with a little help, and that is equivalent to 43 pounds of fentanyl. Could not sound like much, but it's close to 10 million lethal doses. 10 million people can overdose with 43 pounds of fentanyl. So, no, it's not negligible at all. 10 million, that is like a nuclear bomb. Okay, so yeah, there's I don't know how can they know? They're not aware of this, but well, it's time to make science great again and math great again. And this meme shared by Elon Musk put as spot on. The left, RFK Jr. is too anti-science. It's too anti-science. But at the same time, also the left, they have a gender diagram that, of course, it's no more because nobody is counting genders and all that. What do they say that it says? That's construct. Oh no, that this is something fluid. That this is a construct. No. 2 sexes, and is that simple? It's very simple. Very simple. 2 sexes, and that's it. And this is not much of a news or a meme, but should be. Thanks to the general who posted this, I was told that replacement migration was a conspiracy theory. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. There's no such as that thing. And it's actually a 177-page report from the United Nations. And it is in the website of the United Nations, all 177 pages of it. And yes, I'm going to go through it, perhaps with a little help with AI. From AI, that's what AI is good for. Maybe you don't have to read it 100. Okay, summarize it. You have all the science fiction stuff, and bring me to the exact page, and I can then read those crazy points on the exact page. And you might be asking, when was this document released? The document is dated 2000 what? I downloaded it, by the way. I think it was 21 March 2000. It's almost a quarter century old, 25 years. This document is 25 years old. It is not new at all. But somehow it was sitting in there. I guess that people have reference to it. I didn't know that existed. That is the crazy thing that happened with internet. In fact, for me, it's wild that they still have that document in there. Maybe it's rather vanilla in regards of what they have done to Europe, for instance, to the UK, to the United States, to Canada. And but well, I'm sure that will be a good read for ChatGPT. I'm not gonna read those 177 pages. No, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. Oh yeah. MSC. Yeah, it's should be well worth a read, Jenny. I agree with you. But it's time to talk about. It's time to talk about ICE raids and the disturbing consequences that it's having on businesses. Businesses are whining because they must close since all of their employees have mysteriously not shown up since ICE began raiding. I don't know. Maybe there is a connection between that. ICE began raiding and employees disappear. I don't know, it's such a mystery. They're trying to inspire pity, but what I think they should inspire is an audit of their hiring practices. And they say, oh yeah, look at this. Since these people began deporting our lovely illegals, look at our kitchen, it's empty. No one came to work. Some of them have already been taken by migration. They want to inspire pity. Oh, this is so bad. Why are you doing this to America? My actual question is, why aren't Americans in this job? Legal citizens, legal residents, citizens, why are illegals doing this? I mean, this should be immediately investigated. Every single of these businesses that are sharing all this to social media because they are stupid enough. This business owners, that gives you an idea that to be a business owner, you don't need a special IQ to be a business owner. You can be so stupid as to just film your own business and say, oh, this is outrageous. This shouldn't be happening. No, man, you are calling trouble on yourself. I sincerely suggest that you delete that. Righteous indignation, the extent to which the American worker has been replaced by cheap illegal migrant labor is shocking. This job site employee is reporting only 8 out of 43 workers show up for work due to immigration checkpoints and raids. This is where all our jobs have gone, to illegal labor. And you know that it is easier for anybody who hires, quote unquote, because technically can you hire and illegal. That is like, I'm pretty sure that hiring has a legal framework to it. Like when you hire somebody, there should be some kind of legal framework to it. How can you hire somebody who is not legally in the country? I don't know, but I hope that all these businesses, find out really quickly. Dr. D. Scott, illegal worker makes it clear every single person on this construction site is illegal. The ICE truck is there, immigration is down there. We're going to stay here until they leave. And this is the other, let's say, angle of stupidity. You're an illegal. You begin to film ICE down there on the street, and you share this to social media because, well, I don't know, you want to become famous. You want the clicks on TikTok. You want the likes. You want the exposure. You want the followers. You cannot help this. Not gonna lie, having 700,000 followers is nice, so I can understand the sentiment behind this, but you are kind of putting yourself in a predicament because that way you can be more easily deported. Not that I'm giving you advice, Paul. For me, it's baffling that they are filming themselves. Oh yeah, ICE is down there, and we are up there. We're not going out of the roof until they go away. I mean, yeah, they wanted to be TikTok famous. Maybe they can be TikTok famous in their own country, because something that I'm not showing you here is all the protests that have a spark in the United States with foreign flags, especially Mexico, and saying that Mexico, you should respect Mexico. Mexico is great. Mexico is such and such. And not gonna lie, Mexico is great. I've been, my Mexican bottle language buddies, I've been to Mexico City. Is just great. I have to say, one of the countries that I've been treated the best in my life has been Mexico. I've been to Mexico City. I've been to Puerto Vallarta. If you don't know Puerto Vallarta, I don't know how is Puerto Vallarta right now. I went many years ago. It was lovely. I could visit the original location of Predator. One of my favorite movies was really great. I saw the helicopter, the chopper. So Mexico is great. But it's a bit confusing that you try to defend Mexico and say that Mexico is great from inside the United States, like defending that there are people that are whose legal situation is quite irregular, so they are illegal. So if you love Mexico so much, why don't you make Mexico great as well? And that's, I can also understand that I'm human as well. I know that many of these people are working in the United States and sending the money home. That's something that absolutely, if you have to support a family, you will do anything that it takes to support them. But I don't know, maybe you can do things any other way, because if you're an illegal, you're essentially being exploited. You are letting yourself be exploited. So that is not the best idea. Again, making sure that you work hard and send money back to your family in Mexico, that is great. But at the same time, that is money that people in the United States, legal residents and citizens of the United States, are not earning because, well, of the hiring practices of these contractors and these businesses. So I don't think that is right in the end. But again, as I'm telling you, I want to see all the sides of every story. Fearless patriot, legal Mexican immigrant calls out cheap illegal labor. Says workers are hiding from ICE. None of them are showing up to work. It's hilarious. Blast the handouts illegals get while legal immigrants have to struggle. Warns that illegal labor drives down wages for everybody. That is something important as well. Illegal immigration pushes housing prices up, and also because there are more people that are required to live in the same amount of houses and apartments, and so that will naturally push prices up, and at the same time will push wages down. So it's a loss for Americans. Your roots of freedom. A roofing contractor is upset that his illegal workers are not coming to work because of the current administration's actions. I will give you a little business advice. Don't hire illegals. You are anti-American, and it's a form of slavery. Let's make this guy famous. I'm not going to play his clip because I also want to highlight this other guy. I don't know. They want to become famous. They want to become famous. Make him famous, as Wall Street Ape says. Illegal migrant construction worker in Houston, Texas, takes to social media to call Donald Trump a biatch over mass deportations. With tattoos all over his face, he taunts Donald Trump and ICE, daring Trump to deport them, tells Trump, "Come get it, biatch." So that is their attitude. Let's make these people famous. They want to become famous, so let's make them famous. I mean, again, this is common sense. Everybody could win with this. The pie could become bigger for everybody as long as you do things by the book, as long as you do things legally. You can come legally to the United States. You can work, and maybe you can send money home. Why not? But do it the legal way. Once you earn your money the legal way, you can do whatever you want with your money. You can send that money home after you pay your taxes, and then everybody wins. But I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? Because you know that the live chat is heart and soul of this show. I was just going for it. Arrest employers too, says Mads. Yeah, that guy ended up in handcuffs. James Jameson. Okay, I didn't know that. Jesus sounds hilarious saying that. Saying what? What did I say? This construction worker posted the next day that he's legal and he was joking after massive feedback. Yeah, and some of them just want to become, stupid famous. And yeah, that happened as well. I think there was another guy that was obviously a Latino. I don't know if he was Mexican. I said, "Oh, I was deported, but here I am again." He was bragging about that, and I was looking at him, and I was saying, "No, man, no. It's I don't think that you are what you claim to be. I think that you're bluffing. I think that you're bluffing. These people are bluffing so much." Do illegal workers pay any tax? I think they don't. How do illegal people in the United States open a bank account? I don't know. I don't know how that works. But what I do know how it works is how the deep state is being dismantled piece by piece. And DOGE has a lot to do with that. We're going to be talking about DOGE in depth in a while. But right now, the main topic is USAID. USAID is a criminal organization. Time for it to die, says Elon Musk. And breaking, USAID senior officials put on leave after physically trying to stop DOGE from accessing agency systems. I repeat, physically trying to stop DOGE. Like, these guys literally chained themselves to the archives or something like that. This is a huge cover-up. And the things that we're finding out, that this will be an ongoing topic, have been horrifying in terms of how much money is going down the drain for something that is not aid. And this is a huge misconception that I myself had that misconception. I swore that USAID meant that, okay, aid given by the United States. No, it doesn't mean that. But let's go step by step. First things first, And the first thing is that it is over. More than 600 USAID employees have been locked out of the agency's computer systems overnight. The rest received emails saying that at the direction of agency leadership, the headquarters building will be closed to agency personnel on Monday, February 3rd. It is officially closed, or let's say that it's closed because we're going to be talking about in a while who is currently in charge. USAID staffers told to stay out of Washington headquarters after Musk said Trump agreed to close it. It's a huge grift. You remember that I mentioned Venezuela, by the way. In 2019, the opposition of Venezuela, you know how much money the USAID gave the opposition, the control opposition of Venezuela? $200 million. $200 million. And guess what? Nobody knows what they did with that money. Nobody knows. I mentioned one of those SOBs yesterday, you know, Juan Guaido. He is the main one responsible. 200 million went poof, and nobody can tell where those 200 million given by USAID precisely went in 2019. So I have, let's not say first-hand experience, but I know in my own country how those things have gone. Two USAID officials, John Voorhees and his deputy, were put on leave late Saturday night after refusing to allow DOGE members access to USAID systems. The DOGE members threatened to physically call the police after being refused entry. They were trying to access the security and personnel files. Federal officials are concerned that Trump is trying to fold USAID into the U.S. State Department in an effort to cut government corruption and bloat. USAID employs approximately 10,000 people. 10,000 people, excluding contractors, with 2/3 of them overseas. 60 USAID members were already put on leave last week after trying to circumvent President Trump's executive order on stopping foreign aid. And this is not actually foreign aid. This is development. Development of what is important, quote unquote, for the United States, as in developing in other countries. And developing what? Okay, Maya Schwarzenberg, they erased their X account, but there is what USAID didn't want you to know. $2.1 billion with a B, public money went to Gaza just in the last year. $230 million additional funding in November last year to, quote, support the economic recovery in West Bank and Gaza. End of quote. The what? The what? F? We're talking about millions and billions. These are big numbers. These are not big numbers, huge numbers. And well, heads have begun to roll. Heads have begun to roll. Bill Kristol said, the deep state is far preferable to the Trump state. Who's this guy? I have no idea who this guy is. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to find out pretty quickly in the following days. But Data Republican says, hello, Mr. Kristol. For you, the deep state is preferable because you are listed as the president of Defending Democracy, which is an indirect beneficiary of USAID through Rockefeller Philanthropy Advisors. And they had this graph. And, well, the numbers, as I'm telling you, the numbers are counted in millions. 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 I should have, like, the Dr. Evil. The Dr. Evil meme is $1 million. $1 million here is nothing. It's literally nothing. Mike Benz, we're going to be talking about Mike Benz. I'm going to suggest that you follow him. Why was USAID funding the production of heroin in Afghanistan? I mean, what? Feds, U.S. taxpayer funds helping irrigate, fertilize Afghan opium funding Taliban. All right, how nice is this? And we're going to be watching a video developed by Mike Benz, by the way. Make sure that you follow him on X. He is the top of the line researcher on all this stuff, all these corruption scandals. He is Joe Rogan episode was really popular. And AOC is also into the, into this. Wow, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, this is a 5-alarm fire. The people elected Donald Trump to be president, not Elon Musk. Having a non-elected billionaire which is own foreign debts and motives, raiding U.S. classified information is a grave threat to national security. This should not be a partisan issue. And yeah, she was referring precisely to USAID. But what do we have here? Thanks to Mike Pence. Okay, her trip to, I don't know how to pronounce this country. I don't want to fall into that trap. I don't know how to pronounce this, but you know that her trip here, okay, was through the Niamey International Development Program, which is funded by USAID, a known CIA front. Oh my God, this is all. And what do you know, shortly after she left, there was a Western-backed coup that overthrew the government. This is so connected. This is so connected. Even when do we get to see the actual stuff, the actual dirt on AOC? Oh, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, political instability. This is a high priority for the U.S. Embassy. This is the thing that many people are asking. Why is the United States priority, the stability of so many nations in there? Again, you can call myself in many ways an ignorant in geopolitics, but still I am asking the same questions as everybody else. Okay, I can understand that we can, some kind of exchange of goods, exchange of information, exchange of interest, some kind of exchange. But how come that you pour money and resources year after years into countries that cannot support themselves and that don't really represent a net positive? I don't know. I'm going to find out how that country is pronounced. You won't marvel at Nigerian live from afar. You will take part in it. One of your required classes is actually a volunteer placement in the community. You can do whatever you want. This is like all this stuff, and she was into it. AOC was into it, and the breaking is that in the effort of making all this simpler to grasp, to have, of course, to be more efficient, to end all the corruption of previous years, and we're going to be taking a look at all the spending of previous years. President Trump has just appointed Secretary of State Marco Rubio as acting director of USAID. It was revealed this morning that USAID gave millions for bad coronavirus research. Bad coronavirus research in Wuhan in 2019, and then attempted to cover it up. Anthony Fauci, where are you? Where is Dr. Fauci, the freshly pardoned Dr. Fauci, that he didn't do anything? Why would he be pardoned in advance? For what? The corruption ends now. This is something, there's I told you yesterday, yeah, some conspiracies end up being true, and some conspiracies are worse than you can imagine. That is something that is the tip of the iceberg. The tip of the iceberg. And I was talking about Mike Pence. And wow, so USAID doesn't even stand for US aid. It stands for United States Agency for International Development. And their budget is bigger than the State Department and the actual CIA combined. This is huge. This budget is huge, but what kind of interests? And just in case you can check this out on X, but I'm going to play a video created by Mike Benz, in which he explains very thoroughly and in a very succinct way what this USAID stands for. Let's play again.
So what is USAID? When people hear the name USAID, they focus on aid. They focus on thinking like it's humanitarian work. But aid is not actually in the name of USAID. USAID stands for the United States Agency for International Development, not aid. It's not a charity. And
this is important. It's not a charity. That's what I thought. Okay, USAID. When they sent those $200 million to Venezuela that went poof, I thought that was an aid. No, that was a development for something. And that's one of the reasons why Venezuela is in a dire position right now, because Trump knows that this opposition fooled him back then, and they stole the money, and that is a pot that's about to explode. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
International development is simply capacity building. It is local and regional capacity building done across the whole world, i.e. internationally. The primal id in USAID, international development, is about capacity building of assets that can be used by either the Pentagon, the State Department, or the CIA for their own activities. So
okay, the CIA for their own activities. That is concerning in itself.
If you're the Secretary of State and you were asked by the National Security Council or the President to do something in a different country, overthrow their government, stop the passage of a bill in a foreign country's legislature, how would you do that? And the first thing that I said is you would look at the assets that already exist in the country. Do we need new assets in addition to the ones that we currently have, or are the existing assets, can they achieve this simply by giving them enough money?
So it's like you are playing chess and you are making the board bigger, and you are buying other pieces for your own gain. But then it's for these secret projects from the CIA and the Pentagon, and the moment that they become secret, you don't know what is going on, and that's when they begin to fund things that get blown out of proportion. And that's the issue. That is the lack of transparency is the main issue here. So if this was transparent, if this was open, if this was a kind of open source that anybody could take a look at the projects, that would be another thing. But you know that they are not interested in anybody looking at this.
Giving them enough resources, giving them enough training, giving them enough support. One of the main ways that capacity building would be financed would be through USAID. USAID would say that it's doing something, funding a hospital system, funding universities, funding civil society organizations, funding media institutions, funding independent media in the region. Sorry, that's something.
Independent, yeah.
In my eye, independent media in the region on USAID payroll. And those institutions, those assets would then be bigger and more powerful and more capable more capable of serving the State Department's goal, aka advancing U.S. national interests.
U.S. national interest, and who decides what is in the interest of the United States? That is important. That is the transparency that is required.
USAID has a bigger budget than the State Department, over $50 billion. It is a bigger budget than the CIA. The entire intelligence community only has about 72 billion. So that's the CIA plus the 16 others. And USAID has a bigger budget than the CIA and is almost the size of the entire intelligence community combined. That is how important USAID is to American statecraft. It is an intelligence community, a State Department, and a Pentagon assistance organization rolled into one. I just copied this from the USAID website. USAID carries out U.S. foreign policy, advances U.S. national interests by promoting broad-scale human progress. At the same time,
broad-scale human progress. No, not buying it.
It expands stable, free societies, creates markets and trade partners for the United States, and fosters goodwill abroad. The operative phrases here are carries out U.S. foreign policy. This is not charity work. This is not aid. This is cynical, self-serving purposes. And what is it seeking to do? Free societies, open societies. Why does USAID want other countries to be open societies?
It's important, the concept of open versus closed societies. That is the spot. That is the sweet spot. Okay, in which you essentially buy your influence into a country because, well, yeah, you're essentially buying more pieces in the chessboard. Like you're buying more. You have black and white pieces, but you're buying blue pieces in another country, and you're extending the chessboard to your liking with, a fuck ton of money.
Because that's how you get the influence in. If a country is a closed society, they're closed off from USAID influence. We cannot capacity build our assets there. Closed societies box USAID out. China is a closed society. That is why we have not been able to topple the government of China, despite having tried for 100 years now almost. We have not been able to topple Putin from Russia. Why? Because Russia is a closed society. Like China, they kicked USAID out. It is not an open society. And so the USAID can't just take over their entire media ecosystem by funding 100 different media propaganda outlets in the region to sway hearts and minds. And remember, that's what this is. It's hearts and minds and cash. That's
hearts and minds and cash. That is the actual influence. You're trying to expand your influence for your own projects and goals. And what are those projects and goals? Well, nobody knows because all those are from behind closed doors.
So soft power is. They call it hearts and minds work, but it's cash that does the moving of those hearts and minds, especially of the leaders of the movements.
So that's why USAID is the tip of the iceberg of the huge corruption scandal that DOGE is exposing. This is something that is unprecedented. There has been so many people from the left are complaining about this. Oh, how they get to decide what is to be spent or not. But previously, nobody knew where all that money went. Is that all that spending was literally secret? So you're okay with taxpayer money funding what? We're about to look all those examples of crazy stuff being funded by taxpayer money, but it's something that the people should know where their hard-earned money paid in taxes is going, and what is the rationale behind this project? What are the rationale of funding? We're going to be saying this, the wildest examples, both outside and inside the United States. USAID, of course, USAID. It's more outside the United States, but, well, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Again, this would be an ongoing topic because there's a lot that is coming out of the light, and the show is just getting started. Let me see your live chat. You see the live chat that is the heart and soul of our show. Our show, this is the heart and soul. USAID, with my water. It's unbelievable how much American citizens have been lied to. Yes. They use the money to ruin our country, and fund stuff in other countries. As I'm telling you, we Venezuelans are literally demanding that I'm going to show you very briefly before we move on to the next topic. Where's my Scrum? I finally fixed the problem that I had yesterday, by the way. You remember that yesterday we couldn't watch videos directly on the browser? It was just restarting the computer. You know that everything is fixed with a restart. The problem is that when I start a show, I cannot restart the computer without ending the show. Maybe if I pull the plug, maybe pulling the plug that could work. But something that we hear. Okay. This is something that I showed you yesterday, by the way. USAID files. This guy's name is Juan Guaido. He received millions of dollars, $200 million contributed by taxpayers to exterminate Nicolas Maduro and the Los Soles cartel. Instead, he got rich and became a millionaire, like his accomplices from the Socialist Party Voluntad Popular, Leopoldo Lopez, gracias, put an end to this criminal scammer, FBI, DEA, HQ, CIA, ICEBERG, POTUS. Everybody know who we are talking about. This is the main trader. This is, this is $200 million. Can you at least answer where those went? Nobody knows. Nobody has any idea where 200. How can you make 200 million disappear? Yeah, 200 million. $200 million for Venezuela in 2019. We won't forget that. We won't forget that, and we want retribution. Maybe we won't get the money back, but we want to know what actually happened to all that money, which was a lot. So it's not only that the USAID is a huge scandal, which in itself, we're talking about all these conspiracies coming out to the light, including the all the Wuhan stuff, but it's also inside the United States, the amount of all this crazy spending that DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency that is led by Elon Musk, is discovering. And the issue is that you can imagine that many people are upset about this because they don't want their money going away. Their government grants and fundings going away. But just in USAID, security chiefs attempted to block Elon Musk DOGE from accessing classified information. We already said that on the previous section. But we also have this. What kind of spending we are talking about? The spending that we are talking about is $50 million for condoms in Gaza, that we know that Hamas was using to make bombs, flying bombs with condoms. I'm not gonna lie, that's quite creative, but 50 million, man, what the F? 181 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. Almost 200 million. I'm telling you, we're talking about 9 figures in here, 9 figures. 1.7 billion with a B in unauthorized payments to foreign organizations such as the World Health Organization and diversity scholarships to Burma. 1 billion or more DEI projects. 600 million per year by the Pentagon on sushi. What? How do you spend 600 million per year on sushi? How many? Is everybody like filling their pie holes with sushi 3 times a day at the Pentagon? What? 1,000, more than 1,000 per coffee cup by the Air Force. And you would say, what? Coffee cups? $1,000 per coffee cups. But the problem is that these are special coffee cups. Simply irresponsible. In USA Today, Air Force spent more than $300,000 on coffee cups. It kept breaking. An Air Force official admitted the branch's multiple purchases of coffee cups that break easily and cost $1,280 each. Is simply irresponsible, vowing to pursue ways to fix the mugs instead of continually buying new ones. These are special mugs that keep your coffee hot inside the planes. And since, well, it seems that the design is so special and it has to have so very strict process of manufacturing, $1,000 an effing coffee cup. $1,000. Are those bulletproof? Do they have magical powers? I mean, that would be nice. I would pay $1,000 for a magical coffee cup that fills with coffee every time I drink the coffee, and it refills instantly, like magically, like Harry Potter stuff. And before it refills, I tell, okay, I want a cappuccino right now, and it fills. Okay. Oh, no. Add a touch of espresso. Bing, and it does. $1,000 I would pay, maybe $2,000 for unlimited coffee for the rest of my life with my magical cup. But this is horrible. In honor of Elon and Vivek, this was a while ago, picked as the heads of Department of Government Efficiency. You know that Vivek has already said that he was going to focus on his other ventures. Here are some of the dumbest uses of your tax dollars. $20,000 to drag shows on Ecuador, $30,000 to study the secret language of butchers in Paris, because it seems that butchers in Paris have a secret language. If there's a movie about that, I will watch it. I will watch it 100%, but it's sounds something like written by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. $750,000 for the New York Metropolitan Opera fire alarm. Like almost $750,000 for a fire alarm. That must be a nice fire alarm. $300,000 to develop AI smart toilets. Not going to elaborate on that. Maybe you can go to Japan and study their actual smart toilets, but that's it. Why would you need AI for a toilet? Don't answer the question, please. Do not answer the question in the comments. First time, I'm going to forbid you to give any thoughts on that. This is a dictatorship in that regard. Do not give any ideas. And more than $600,000 to study the impact that COVID had on Russian women. What? What? How is that possible? So, the big issue is that who is doing that job? It's just 6 kids. These are literally kids. And they have been doxxed. I mean, the left and the mainstream media, which is mostly liberal and libtards, they were so upset with all this that they made sure to dox the 6 guys who were behind this operation. And you know that Elon Musk had already said that they had ordered 6 sofa beds, so they were going to go full on autism fuel to, develop a system to make sense of all this spending, because you cannot review that. You would last months with humans reviewing all this, but you can get the best of the best, the top 0.0001% of humans to use AI to sort through all that stuff. And well, you have them here. I was reading the story of Luke Ferritor. This guy won an award for being able to decipher some ancient manuscript from Pompeii. It was amazing. I suggest that you look for that. Luke Ferritor, Pompeii manuscripts. He was obsessed, and he developed an AI that could decipher those manuscripts. And with 2 other people, he won and almost won $1 million. The price was $1 million if you could develop a way to decipher this. So yeah, these kids are the cream of the cream of the cream of the cream of the crop. And they were mostly anonymous until this journalist, Victoria Elliott, is the journalist responsible for doxing the young man involved with DOGE. Of course, because there's all this pressure. We need to know their names. We need to know their names. The good thing is that Donald Trump already ordered full protection for them. And security clearance for them, because, well, they're essentially contractors and they have access to everything, and they are protected in every single way. This is important. Peyton Alexander. My favorite part about DOGE is how one of the guys will be some kind of insane prodigy who decoded the Herculaneum papyri at the age of 20, and the hit piece author's bio trying to take him down is like, associate staff writer for general topics, hobbies include having a cat. Yeah, that's pure envy. It's like, you don't hate these journalists enough. I mean, there must be journalists with principles out there, but these are the worst of the worst. And doxing them has consequences like this. Crémieux, here's a handful of the many Reddit. I've told you, I'm on X. I suggested that you might follow my X account if you want. If you don't want to open an X account, that's okay. But in regards to Reddit, man, I suggest that you don't go there. You don't open Reddit ever, because that is a cesspool. And that is the problem, that so many AIs that have been trained on Reddit, that's why you know that AIs behave the way they do. Here's a handful of the many Reddit posts calling for violence and harassment against the boys from DOGE who wear dogs. This is the point of activist journalist doxing pieces, to target people for harassment. Hope they remain safe and successful. And this is 100%. I am very, very wary of internet justice and the harm it can do if these are legit and verified. LOL. LOL. Get am. Yeah, actual threats. Shaving their heads is the least that should happen. Give them something they can't take off. Just go Aldo Rain on them all. If you watch Inglourious Bastards, you know what that user was suggesting. If they feel they can walk into your government buildings with impunity, just remember they all have addresses of their own. Yeah, this is the kind of derangement that is on Reddit. They've got to get a lucky bunch. We the people only have to get lucky once. Let's go. Again, I hope that they remain safe and they keep on doing their stuff that is going to expose things like this. Breaking Bishop Marianne Boots. You remember the bishopess that went oh my trans kids, oh my illegal migrants, oh my all that stuff, my diversity, equity, and equality, and whatever it means, on Donald Trump and his family on that church service. You remember that? You remember her? Well, Bishopess Marianne Buddha's Episcopal Migration Ministries collected $53 million from government programs in 2023 for, and I kid you not, immigrant resettlement. $53 million. Her church channeled $53 million for immigrant resettlement. My question is, how much of those $53 million went to line her pockets? Now we know why she gave Trump the multicultural Marxist lecture. She warned him because money was on the line. The immigrant resettlement programs are much larger and more profitable than even Gavin Newsom's homeless resettlement programs. Has this program been deleted from federal government spend yet? I hope so. I certainly hope so. It's the only thing that we can expect, and that that they move swiftly on just closing the sink. It's closing the sink, right? The sink, the faucet, closing the faucet. There's an expression for that, right? You know what I mean. Just close it. Just stop that. NPR and PBS call to testify. DOGE Subcommittee Chair Marjorie Taylor Greene is calling on the chief executive officers of NPR and PBS to testify at a hearing concerning the systemically biased news coverage produced on behalf, and this is important, of federally funded radio and TV stations. It's not like the BBC in the UK. And people are paying money for a broadcasting channel, for media that is biased, that pushes misinformation, that pushes hoaxes, that lies, that openly lies to people. NPR and PBS have repeatedly undermined public trust by ignoring stories that were damaging to the Biden administration, dismissing genuine calls for balanced reporting, and pushing partisan coverage. As stewards of tax dollars, NPR and PBS must provide objective and accurate coverage that serves all Americans. I think that damaging to the Biden administration, I think that is a typo, because I don't think that they push... ignoring stories that were damaging to the Biden administration, that they just look anywhere. You still look anywhere, and they must be held accountable. In regards to DEI and DOGE and DEI, more than 100, this is spot on, Jenna. Gianna Norman's spot on, paying for our own brainwashing. Just comment of the day. They're paying for our own brainwashing. This is like kind of comments that I like. Spot on. More than 100 DEI contracts totaling over $1 billion with a B have been collected thanks to DOGE. DEI contracts from all this, Department of Agriculture, Commerce, Defense, Education, Energy, blah, 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 grand total of $1 billion. Goodbye, DEI. Goodbye. And that is the tip of the iceberg. And of course, bit in the group of bureaucrats complaining, it's there's Representative Ilhan Omar has a meltdown over how she is no longer able to burn American taxpayer dollars, says Trump is a dictator for wanting to save Americans money. Wow, we get to decide where money is allocated. We talk about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and well, there she is complaining.
It is really, really a sad day in America.
Yeah, but sis, I'm going to torture you a bit.
We are witnessing a constitutional crisis. We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like. When you gut the Constitution and you...
Who has gutted the Constitution? I don't know.
You install yourself as the sole power. That is how dictators are made. What Trump and Elon and all of their cronies are trying to do is take away the constitutional power of Congress.
How exactly is that done? How do you take the constitutional power of Congress away? Again, I'm not a specialist, but I think that you can't do that. You're just reviewing the crazy spending of the government, trying to make the government smaller. That's it.
We get to decide. We have the power of the purse.
Has anybody seen Ilhan Omar and AOC in the same room, like at the same time? Because it's like I always thought that this is just like AOC in a costume. The AOC in a costume.
We get to decide where money is allocated, and it's the executive's power to make sure that that money gets to where it needs to get.
Yeah, because it is not getting where the actual interests of American citizens is going.
When we talk about civil servants being let go, what we are talking about is not saving money. It's essentially saying they can get paid while they're home and their work doesn't get done on behalf of the American people.
What are you talking about? Wait, what? Oh my God, this is... We can do this. How long is this clip? Oh my God, it's like 1 minute.
It is us, taxpayers, who are being ripped off. It is us, taxpayers, who are not getting the resources that we paid into. So I ask the American people, do you want people at home and getting a paycheck and not providing services to you?
I'm sure that they want they don't want the $50 million for Hamas building bombs. I'm pretty sure that they don't want that.
The answer is no. Do you want the executive making the only decisions in this country, or do you want the elected representatives that you sent to Washington making those policies?
You still are making those policies. That hasn't changed. You are gaslighting with a topic, with off-topic remarks.
I am exceptionally upset about USAID. I lived in a refugee camp for 4 years as a child surviving.
Fuck's sake!
war.
I knew.
It is the essential programs that
no,
you.
No. This is fucking Meghan Markle story. No, don't fuck with me with that. Go ahead. Go get away from me, my show. Get away from my show. No. It's just, there was like 1 minute left of video. I expel you. Expel you. I will exorcise my show from you AOC with a turban. Fuck's sake. No, not again. Sorry about that, but this is like, I knew I was running a refugee camp. Fuck you. Oh, fuck's sake. No. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm let me regain composure. I'm a gentleman. That's something that well, I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Let's get civilized again. No, I was joking. I need holy water. Can you imagine? I go for the please stand. I go for the please stand by screen, and you see me like just muted, but just smashing my headphones. I will be fine. I'm going. Yeah, it's oh my God, it's like I cannot. I can stand up to one point. I can stand up to one point when you're going to go for the sub story. You were a refugee camp. This is GTFO. Is that simple? GTFO. That's what we must do. That's what we must do. We can go forward with the following topic. It's something that no. It's that she was going full. She was going full. It's the same thing. Meghan Markle, Kamala Harris. I was born in this. I was born in this. This family. I was born in this house with this working class family, and we have to. I don't care about that. Can you do the job or not? Can you do the job or not? I couldn't care less. I don't care where you come from. I don't care how much you have struggled in your life. I don't care. That's just all the things that happen. I just care if you can do the job or not. I am not here to be your friend. You are here to be my public servant, to work for your constituents, to the people who voted for you. And you can write a book after you step out of office, after you get elected out of office. You can write your book and write your memoirs. If somebody reads that stuff, somebody wants, maybe you can start a blog, maybe you can start a YouTube channel. They go ahead, go for it. But no, man, no. This is way too much. This is way too much. Ricky Lee super chat, thank you. Gamer live stream. The gamer live stream is it's coming. It's coming at some point. There's some other super chats in here. Margie with her super sticker. I don't remember mentioning Margie with her super sticker. Thank you, Margie. And Jenny with a super sticker as well. Video game controller evolves into a muscle version of itself. Yeah, level up. We need to level up here. What you want? You want gaming? You want gaming streams? Maybe I could have a gaming stream at some point. But there's so much nonsense in the United States right now, and the world at large, that we need to address. That it is well. It's so fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's I mean it's outrageous, but it's fun in many ways as well. I'm gonna lie, it's fun as this upcoming topic. Scott Jennings, a topic that has to do with the tariffs of Mexico. You know that Mexico and Canada Mexico already folded. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. And Canada, they should be talking right now as we speak. I predicted early AM on CNN that Trump was on a mission of behavior modification. Just a couple hours later, I was proven right when Mexico started playing ball on border security. Add that to Colombia and Panama responded, and you can see Trump's strategy working. Let's hear Scott's words. He has been a voice of reason, and we have highlighted his opinions in our show a couple times.
The name of the game here is behavior modification. He wants Canada and Mexico to help stem the flow of drugs and people across the border. That's number one. He doesn't think they're doing enough. He's using these tariffs as a tool to say, look, I'm not fooling around. We mean business. Until you help me, I'm going to inflict some pain upon you. The American economy is bigger than yours.
Again, this is like playing chess. You make sure that you force people into a position. Trump is essentially forcing both Canada and Mexico into a position, and the position is urgent. You either react. You're not going to take 1 week or 1 month to react. You have to react within hours. That's why I tell you it has been a bit stressing the past couple of days to keep up with everything that is going on. I think that I finally caught up. But that is the game that Trump is doing. He's on so many fronts at the same time, and he's applying pressure straight from his Truth Social account directly, like vocally, to governments. This is what I'm going to do. So you do this, or this is what's going to happen. There's no negotiation, and then if you play nicely, then we can sit down for a negotiation, which is what happened with Mexico. That's what you do. He's playing on the offensive, and that is triggering so many people, so many. What is the name? Snowflakes are crying because, oh my God, Trump is going so hard on all these countries. We're going to have expensive avocados and beer.
You depend on us more than we depend on you. Therefore, please modify your behavior. And I'm sure conversations are going on with both countries.
That term, I like that term. Modify your behavior. Nothing is saying, oh, I'm going to cross you. This is not some kind of vendetta. No, this is something what is right for America. And every single president of every single country, this should be their approach to their own economy, to their own people, to their own interests. This is not just about America. Every country should have a government that prioritizes their people's well-being. We could say that Nayib Bukele is one of them, and I could say that back then, many years ago, back in 2019, I remember I had a lot of doubts about Nayib Bukele. For me, he was a loudmouth narcissist, and well, I was proven wrong, and me being proven wrong was very good for people from El Salvador, because Bukele has made El Salvador extremely safe and prosperous. So, well, I was wrong. Maybe the guy is still a narcissist. Maybe he is, but he has done what had to be done, and he was reelected because of that. Yeah, better to be proactive than reactive. I agree, Ms. Black Cat. You are on point with that comment. That is the approach. That is the approach that every country would do, not only America. Trump is just setting the bar at that height.
About what it would look like to secure their borders and to stop the flow of people and drugs across the border. And if Donald Trump could tell us that was happening, I think that would be a great outcome. Regarding other countries and regarding our position vis-a-vis other countries, Karen, I want to directly address that. You have to give Trump a little credit so far. He has had some success with this behavior modification strategy so far. It worked on Colombia. And if you look at the news reports from the weekend, it might be working on Panama as they have started to move away from China a little bit.
Yeah, Panama has already begun to move away from China. What I understand is that China controls some kind of organizations of some kind of the two ports on each side of the Panama channel, and that's the thing that they were trying to negotiate, and that is the pressure that has been played on Panama. And some of you have reached out to me to ask, Jesus, when Trump says that he's going to annex Canada as the 51st state. Do you think that he's saying that for real? Again, maybe that is a red herring. A red herring is like a signal. It's like a magician that I tell you, okay, look at this stack, and you have to look elsewhere. But this stack, because I would be doing something with my sleight of hand, right? So I think what Trump is doing is, with the add Canada as the 51st state, he is distracting the mainstream media and making them focus on something that is, let's say, slightly related to what he's doing, not completely unrelated, because of he also needs the attention and the pressure on Trudeau at the same time. So Trudeau makes the corresponding mistakes, and there are mistakes out there. We're going to be talking about the mistakes in Canada right now. So that's my opinion. That's why Trump is saying, oh yeah, Canada, the 51st state, Trudeau, the governor of the 51st state, all that is a red herring, like something to distract, to mislead a bit.
Over this issue of who actually controls the Panama Canal. So one of the larger macro issues here to me is Donald Trump on a mission to show dominance in the hemisphere, dominance in the region, and to try to get other people to bend to our will?
Yes.
Colombia and Panama, I believe, have. If Mexico and Canada bend on helping us stop the flow of people and drugs, that would be another victory. And, John, yes, if the tariffs went away, everyone would be happy. We'd have less immigration, less drugs, and lower prices, and that'd be a great day for everybody.
It would be a great day for everybody. And the thing is that, so Trump is exerting politics by power. He's exerting power on others. He's essentially bullying other countries. That's how power works. And this is something that many people have not understood. Many people still think that since we live in a civilized society, that this has changed. Oh, we live in a civilized society. There's no need to be applying this power plays. All of us should be living in harmony. There should be no crime. There should be none of this. No. That will keep on existing until the dawn of time, until we have a spread. We will spread to other planets, maybe other galaxies, I don't know, and humans will still be like that. We'll still have that struggle for power. It's as simple as that. That hasn't changed in millennia. Is not gonna change anytime soon. So if you want your country to thrive, you might as well make sure that you, choose the ones who not only have the guts to do what has to be done, but also they have an actual love of their country, because that is important. Some people exert the power, like in my country, in Venezuela, but they are not interested in the well-being of their citizens. That is a big distinction. And again, I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. The live chat. Where's my live chat? Donald is doing pre-persuasion to have what he wants. Yeah, he's putting people in a position in which they have to act the way he wants. That's and yes, a name in Canada, the 51st state, is part of that. It's part of that strategy. That connects. That segues directly into this update of the tariffs. Let's talk about the tariffs themselves and what is the actual reason behind these tariffs. I just spoke, says Donald J. Trump. I just spoke with President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico. It was a very friendly conversation wherein she agreed to immediately supply 10,000 Mexican soldiers on the border separating Mexico and the United States. The soldiers will be specifically designated to stop the flow of fentanyl and illegal migrants into our country. We further agreed to immediately pause the anticipated tariffs for a 1-month period, again, playing hard on this, during which we will have negotiation headed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent, and Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, and high-level representatives of Mexico. I look forward to participating in those negotiations with President Sheinbaum as we attempt to achieve a deal between our two countries. Who is the master? Who is the master at achieving deals? Donald Trump. He pushed the pieces. He used the tariffs as a way to apply pressure for this. And then, okay, you will have a 1 month. You had 1 month to get your act together. And that's what Heidi Briones said. This is what people don't get. The tariffs aren't really tariffs. They are bargaining chips. That is the best definition possible, that bring people to the table. Trump knows how to get things done. That is how you use tariffs. And that is a lesson in negotiation and the way that we can learn from that. And that, of course, we have people like Chuck Schumer. I don't know. I have to mention Chuck Schumer every once in a while, much to my chagrin. Chuck Schumer on Sunday said that Trump's tariffs would make Corona and avocados more expensive. Today, Mexico's president caved to Trump's tariff threat and agreed to send 10,000 Mexican soldiers to defend the U.S. border. Schumer has humiliated himself yet again with a silly stunt that didn't last even 24 hours. Didn't last even 24 hours. This is how fast things are happening. And that is the idea. You have to act fast. Not only hitting first, but acting as fast as you can. And from Canada, they are a bit upset, and we have reactions like this. Tariffs from Amuse. It turns out trade wars are hard. Canada's Doug Ford announced he was canceling Ontario's Starlink contract in response. Starlink, the service from Elon Musk that helps you have internet in rural areas, virtually anywhere, via satellite, no cables needed. What he might not have realized is that Canada's own satellite internet constellation won't be ready until 2027, and it is relying on Elon Musk's SpaceX to send their own satellites into space. I mean, this is how retarded these people are. That's why I tell you, I don't know if I'm smart enough to build a business. You are smart enough to build a business. You are smart enough to have a YouTube channel. You are smart enough to be a government official, because we see time and time again that all these positions are filled by actual retards. And this is something that didn't they see this coming? I mean, how can they be so that, I'm going to cancel Starlink's contract, but you still depend on another company, another of Elon Musk's company, to put your own satellites into space. I rest my case. These people are beyond repair. Maybe repair is not the their imbecility knows no bounds. Justin Trudeau gets this smug look wiped off his face. Reporter, when did you first learn that President Trump intends to increase tariffs in Canada, retaliates, and how had that changed your strategy? And, this was Trudeau's reaction.
When did you first learn that President Trump intends to increase tariffs if Canada retaliates, and how has that changed your strategy?
He said, what? When did that happen? Oh my God. Oh yeah. I was doing something Taylor Swift related. I didn't know about that. He takes his letting that sink in. He's letting that sink in. I mean, what? What tariffs are you talking about? What? Oh my God. Oh my God. Fidel, dear father, help me in this hour of need.
I think Canadians understand that we need to respond to this.
Oh, yes, is this the first thing? You're actually doing that. You're responding to this.
We need to respond in a way that is appropriate.
All right.
That is measured but forceful.
All right. You're borderline Kamala, but go ahead.
That meets the moment.
Meets the moment. No way. No way. That meets the moment. This is poetry in motion. This is body language poetry right now. Body language poetry.
We're certainly not looking to escalate.
All right, because you would need the leverage to escalate. And you know that you need the leverage to escalate? You know that from the gross domestic product of Canada, 22% of that gross domestic product is exports to the United States. Exports to the United States. In Mexico, it's 35%. And from the United States to Canada and Mexico combined is just 3% of the United States gross domestic. So that is leverage. You depend on the United States, not the other way around. So you don't have leverage to, escalate that. What are you going to escalate? What are you going to escalate?
But we will stand up for Canada, for Canadians, for Canadian jobs.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, make my day. So, also, Trump, it appears that Mexico has reached an agreement with Trump to avoid tariffs, and Trump has some words for that as well.
We subsidize Canada by the tune of about $200 billion a year. And for what? What do we get out of it? We don't get anything out of it. I love the people of Canada. I disagree with the leadership of Canada. And something's going to happen there. But if they want to play the game, I don't mind. We can play the game all they want. Mexico, we've had very good talks with them. And this is retaliatory. This is retaliatory to a certain extent. Millions of people flowed into our country through Mexico and Canada. And we're not going to allow that.
We're not going to allow that. There is a guy who has his country's interests first and foremost. That is the idea. But still, again, that's what tariffs are for. Bargaining chips. So you force people to go into the table right now, not tomorrow. No, in hours. We're talking about hours. That's how fast this thing is going. But I still want to know what you think about this in the comments. All right. I see in the chat that oh my god, thank you CS Jesus, your commentary is hilarious, top tier. But because the situation is hilarious. The situation is hilarious and allows for that. I couldn't have imagined that I could have so much fun with politics, with politics, and especially with such insanity. But to be fair, I had fun with Venezuelan politics back in 2019. The problem is that I got into trouble with a lot of people that didn't like what I said about the Venezuelan opposition leader. No, I wouldn't say that he went full Kamala, Samantha. Don't be like that. I don't think that he went full Kamala. I don't think that he went full Kamala. And my people on Rumble, Tonya BTX. Jesus, you're awesome. Thank you, Tonya. I'm seeing that. Sadly, there's no way for me to feature your comment in here, but thank you as well. Also, Syrian Pickle and Rooster5641. Thank you for being on Rumble. Remember that we are live through YouTube, X, and Rumble at the same time. And we still have two more topics. Two more topics. One topic that I need to talk about. One topic that I need to address. One topic that hits close to home is what? one topic that hits close to home that has to do, well, popular culture, pop culture, and music, something that I couldn't exist without music. I love music since I have memory. But by the way, I've really never watched the Grammys. I've never believed in the Grammys. I always remember that meme from The Simpsons when, Homer Simpson has the Grammy, but he's away from his family and he gives his Grammy to a bellboy, I think, and the bellboy, this is a Grammy. No, I don't want this. This is embarrassing. I remember. I'm old enough to remember. That was the Grammy, right? That was given to Jethro Tull instead of Metallica for metal or something, or rock, something like metal, something like that. Maybe my memory fails me, but I remember that a band with a guy with a flute, not like Jethro Tull is great in many ways, but if you're talking about metal, like heavy metal, and you're against Metallica, how are you going to win if you have a flute in your band? I don't know how that works. Maybe there's so many mashups. But the insanity of the Grammys right now, it's not about music, because they are not celebrating music anymore. They're just celebrating their own, connections. And yes, you might already know that I referenced those words from Robert Greene, the author of the Laws of Power, that he has worked with people with many industries, including the Hollywood and the music industry. And, well, according to his experience, the music industry is grades, is levels of magnitude worse than Hollywood, which is saying something. And yeah, thanks to Leilani Dowding for having this collage of total freak show at the Grammys. And, well, the first thing that I did not understand, I wanted to explain, is why Jaden Smith was wearing what looks like your Addams Family Elementary School project. I don't know what this means. I always like to analyze symbolism. And what is the symbolism of this? Like, what? What in the name? I don't know. My question is, did this project himself? Did his mom, Jada, do that project for him? It is possible. Why not? It's knowing Jada, I don't think that she would do that. But again, this is so baffling to me. I love modern art, because sometimes you cannot explain, but at least it tries to, some modern art tries to make you get out of your mental comfort zone. This is just moronic. This is not art. This is just moronic. And yeah, you know that he needs to have that look of, oh, I am so interesting. I don't have any idea who this lady is. Sorry if I'm misgendering her or him, or it's he, it, they, them. She looks like a cyberpunk 2077 character gone wrong. It looked like she was cleaning the toilet at her home, and she went on a rush and went to the Grammys and forgot to take the gloves out, or she was cooking meth. It's anyone's guess, but no. Who is she? I have no idea. For all purposes, this could be a man. For all purposes, this could be a man, sadly. And, well, in terms of confusion, I mean, this guy, I still don't know who this guy is. He was on Leilani's collage. This is like if Rob Zombie went full, woke. I mean, it's Rob Zombie went full what? Went full TQ, okay? Because I'm not gonna see. You know that we have already made the divide between LGBT TQ if Rob Zombie went full TQ. Rob Zombie went going full TQ, and especially with also the globes. The globes, not gonna lie, if I'm not gonna be a hypocrite, if Marilyn Manson went there, when those globes, I would say, oh, how cool those gloves are. I'm going to give him a pass, because the gloves look cooler than the cleaning your toilet gloves, the yellow ones. Those red gloves are interesting. I don't know. This is maybe I'm too out of touch. Maybe I'm tired of all this BS. But this, and you know that I'm not going to show the entire picture, but essentially this is exploitation. I mean, I'm going to say, I don't know who's going to be triggered about this. I see time and time again that people call Kanye West some kind of genius. I've tried to listen to his music, to his hits, to the music he has produced, and I feel nothing. I mean, I like absolutely nothing. The guy, of course, has a business acumen. That I could say that. He is as anti-Semitic as you can get, like grossly anti-Semitic. That is, I don't roll with that, man. But what he does to his wife or slave, or I don't know, it's I don't know why is this a thing. I mean, I told you yesterday that I didn't want to talk about him, and then he appears out of nowhere, and I knew that I needed to make a point about this. I mean, if you think that the guy is a genius, go ahead, go for it. I don't know. People say that Taylor Swift is a genius. I don't know. I cannot save you. You cannot be saved. And maybe if you say that Kanye West, or whatever he's called, he's a genius, maybe you have to accept the fact that Beyonce now is white. Beyonce went full white people. Beyonce went full white people. Why? She looks whiter than Taylor Swift, by the way. And the Grammy she's holding is for country music, which is as white an award that is it can get. You had a blonde, white as fuck Beyonce receiving a Grammy award for country music album. What is this? I mean, this cannot get worse. I thought that Lady Gaga, during her acceptance speech, trans people are not invisible. Trans people deserve love. Oh, that is so 2024, Lady Gaga. That is so 2024. No. That is so passé. It is so passé. We're talking about 0.02% of the population. No, it's like, no, maybe she hasn't get the memo from her handlers. Maybe she's expecting the memo from David Hogg to tell her, hey, you know what? We're not gonna be talking about trans people anymore. But the problem is that they don't have any more talking points. But yes, that's why Beyonce being white, like actually white, and with that face receiving a country album award, it's enough to glitch anybody's brain. And I needed to say this. This is enough to glitch anybody's brain. But still, the comments are open if you want to have a word or two about this. And I'm sure that you want to have a word or two about this. So I'm gonna say I've had a blast with today's show. It's hard that I needed the recharge of the batteries of these two days. Has been a great show today. Has been a great show today. We still have the. Oh my God, Adam Schiff! I don't want to talk about Adam Schiff. We were going so well, and trigger warning. Dang. We need the Inception angry boat horn. Dun. You know, it's like it's not only Inception. You are Christopher Nolan, and you need a sound effect for a trailer for any of your movies. You will absolutely insert the angry boat horn. That is Christopher Nolan's. That you know that you're about to watch a Christopher Nolan movie. But whatever. It's like who understood Tenet upon first watch? I watched Tenet like 3 times. I need to watch 7 YouTube videos of like 30 minutes or 40 minutes each to understand that movie. I still don't get it, but still it's still out. I'm not gonna fool with Nolan. Nolan, I'm still waiting. He's gonna do the Odyssey. Now let's see what is that about. Okay, so we had fun so far, but we need to talk about Adam Schiff. Oh, let's see. As JP, I don't know if there will be a member backstage today. Let's see if we can make one. This was my friend, a local farmer. Her federal grant funds were suspended with no notice. She says employees in a small farm to run. She's freaking out. All right, this is the federal. You mean the United States, right? You mean in the United States? Oh, that should be looked into. It should be looked into. What the federal funds and the grants, right, that were stopped. It should be looked into as well, of course. Let's talk about Adam Schiff. Where's my clock? Let's talk about Adam Schiff, and this will be our last topic of today. This guy, when we talk about mass deportations, this is what it means. We needed to talk about Chuck Schumer, and now we'll talk about Adam Schiff. At some point, I need to be clear with this. At some point, I thought that Chuck Schumer and Adam Schiff were the same MF. Okay, that's like I couldn't distinguish both of them because both of them were like insufferable. It's like AOC and Ilhan Omar. It's like has anybody seen them in the same room simultaneously? Let's watch this. He has something to say about mass deportations. Let's see his opinion, and let's troll him a bit if we're at it.
So this past weekend, I was in the Central Valley and had one of the most really heartbreaking meetings I think I've ever had.
Heartbreaking, and he presses his lips. Oh my God, he must be taking acting classes with Megan.
I sat down with a group of farm workers who were the subject of these mass deportations. Women whose husbands were pulled out of their cars during traffic stops or at gas stations.
This is the kind of stuff, people being pulled out of their cars at traffic light stops. This is what it is. It is a big missed opportunity to make that a reality show 24/7. And the government would make money with that because people will want to watch that. I lost count of how many people said, we want a show like Cops, but with ICE detaining illegal migrants. There's a huge market in there. There's a huge market in there. And there any, I don't know, can influencers have some kind of press pass, ICE press pass to, record and edit stuff and split profits with the government. There's a business in there. They're talking about America, the heart of capitalism in the world. Everything can be made a business. We need a show of this. We need a show of this.
And forced to sign forms they didn't understand what they were signing, almost immediately deported to Mexico.
My guess is that this never happened. My guess is that this never happened, but it is happening. But what did not happen is that he had a meeting with those people, or he had first, in-person contact with them. No, I don't think so.
Leaving behind their wife, leaving behind their children. I met two young children, both age 11, one whose father was now in Mexico, and he had been able to speak to his father and was heartbroken, missing his father. The other had not been able to even speak to his father yet.
Why do I have this strong sensation that the guy is just making all this stuff up? Why is he? Do I have the sensation that he's making all this stuff up? I mean, the meeting. Let's say, okay, the kids were not deported. You want to make it, and the wife was not deported as well. Only the kids, only the father was deported to Mexico. If you really wanted to make this a sob story, interview the wife, I don't know, look for the wife, make sure that the wife appears on TV saying all this, and how come only the father is deported and the wife and the kids are not? This I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know how that works. I have zero idea how that works. It means that maybe the father was in those construction sites that we were watching at the start of the show, and he was snatched by evil eyes, and the wife and kids were left behind, and the wife and kids will be eventually deported as well, because that is the thing. That is the thing. Tom Homan said, well, there's one way to not split families with deportations. We deport them all together. That's, I don't know. It seems a very suspicious story. I don't buy it.
In tears, mothers afraid to bring their kids to school. Just horrible, heartbreaking situation. These were people who have been working in the fields in some cases for decades.
If they have been working in the field for decades, why haven't they regularized their status in the United States? It is my question. There must be a way to do that. There must be a way, right? Maybe they don't want to, and now they are. Oh yeah, they are experiencing the consequences of not wanting to do it in all those decades as illegals in the United States. Because there must be a way. There must be a way. If I know one thing, is that I already said that America is the heart of capitalism, and there are very good attorneys of all kinds. And if with a good attorney, you can regulate 100%. So if you have spent decades in the United States as an illegal, and you are caught, it is entirely your fault, your responsibility, because I am 100% sure. And these churches, like the Bishopess, they finance these legal proceedings. They pay for this legal proceedings. So there's no way you can say, oh, poor you have been doing it. He says like that, if that is something to be sorry for. No, shame on you instead for being decades as an illegal and not starting the process to, regularizing your status and putting your family in danger because of that. You're the only to blame, and that is just common sense. Why are you still an illegal after decades?
Backbreaking work. They worked throughout the pandemic so all the rest of us could eat. And having their families torn apart in this way, seeing these children missing their parents.
Yeah, if they have been decades in the United States, they are responsible for that.
It was just devastating. And none of these people had any criminal record, never been arrested for anything.
Again, that is a fallacy. If they enter the United States in an illegal way, or not through a port of entry, not in the right way, so to speak, then they already have committed a crime. And if, okay, maybe, all right, maybe I did this, maybe you can ask for some kind of process that, oh, I've been prosecuted in my country, something like that. You know, so many people have exploited the United States system that I also have to tell you this. I have to tell you this. I know many Venezuelans. I have Venezuelan family and friends who have exploited the United States system, and nowadays they are citizens of the United States. So you can do it. I know people, first-hand experience with people who I know personally, one of my family, who entered the United States illegally, and today they're law-abiding citizens of the United States. So it can be done. If you didn't do it, it is entirely your fault. You made two mistakes. One, entering the United States illegally. Two, not regularizing your status. Not looking for ways. One thing is that Venezuelans, we find the way. We find ways to do things. If there's a way to do something, rest assured, a Venezuelan will find a way to do that. That's something that we have. Let's finish this.
Often they were pulled over and asked if they were so-and-so. They didn't even have the right people. It just didn't matter. And that this is being done and maybe just the beginning of what's being done is just awful. Awful for these families, awful for people who put themselves at risk to feed us during the pandemic.
You already said that. I don't buy this. That never happened. That never happened, Adam. That never. You're just trying to. You don't. Again, this doesn't hold up. None of that holds up. But again, I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Where's my live chat? Oh my God, we were almost just in time. Almost just in time. Such a great show today. Such a great show today. Has been amazing. Was worth assembling the show the way that I did. And especially because I had a lot of fun with you. Had a lot of fun with you. There's a super chat in here I didn't see. Fourth super chat for Samantha. Samantha, thanks for all your hard work covering these ridiculous people. Keeps us from losing our minds. Jesus Nation, thank you, Samantha. Thank you for your super chat. And yes, this is again. This today we reviewed so many crazy stuff in terms of common sense, and I'm sure that common sense will prevail in the end, and we will be here for it. We will be here for it. This show has been great, especially thanks to you to give me your energy and have some fun here with all these jokes. Again, it is so easy for me to cover these topics the way that we do, just because of your energy, and well, that's why the live chat is so great. And you being here, that is invaluable to me. My body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. And until we meet on another video, another live, maybe tomorrow, remember to download my 100 body language tips in the description of this video. Remember the most important words: much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.